Okay, in this program, you can see that I have used a variable called a of int type. You all know int occupies in Java how many bytes? Int occupies 4 bytes, unlike in C where int occupies 2 bytes. Java occupies 4 bytes. Okay, so 4 bytes means 32 bits. So a is given a value 8. We will see what is the binary equivalent. You have in this class called integer, there is a method called as toBinaryString. So it will give binary equivalent of the value a. Okay, so that is 8 is represented in zeros and ones form. So totally you will be finding, because this has been declared under int type, totally you will be finding 32 bits. That is 4 bytes is equal to 32 bits. So 8 is represented, okay, in the form of 32 zeros and ones. Okay, and later on I am using 3 variables x, y, and z, where x is initialized with a value 3 and y with a value 5. Okay, so we are performing here. I am performing AND operation. Here I am performing OR operation, bitwise OR operation, and here I am performing XOR operation. And here what I have performed is ones complement operation. So I shall show, okay, the answer to you by running this program. I shall be able to show the answer to you. So let me, I am using NetBeans. I hope you too would have used NetBeans like this. Have you used NetBeans?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This editor, you all are well versed with this editor, I guess. So let me show you the output so that you shall be able to understand this program. I had not selected this. I should have run this particular file. Okay, you see here, you can find, okay, a is 8. So the binary representation of a is displayed here. You are getting 1,000,000. You are not getting zeros at the beginning because leading zeros, they are called as, so totally 32 bits are there. Out of those 32 bits, only 4 bits are shown. Whatever is there before 1, they are all zeros. So zeros are usually not displayed. So therefore you are able to see only 4 bits. Okay, there is a 1 under 8's place, and under 4, 2, and 1's place you are finding zeros. Okay, this is a representation of a. And here I am trying to initialize x and y with 3 and 5 respectively. And okay, here I am trying to perform bitwise AND between x and y. So what will happen? So x is equal to 3. 3 means 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Correct? 0, 0, 1, 1 is the value, binary value for 3. And for y is equal to 5, the value is 0, 1, 0, 1. Correct? When you perform a bitwise AND, what you get is a 1. Okay? And when you perform OR operation, okay, that is addition operation on the bits, you get a value 7 as shown here. And when you are performing XOR operation, as I told, XOR operation, in case of XOR operation, as per the truth table of XOR operation, you would be getting, as per the truth table, you would be getting a 0 for the like inputs, and for the unlike inputs, for the dissimilar inputs, you will be getting a value 1. Okay, so as per that calculation, the answer what you get is 6 as shown here for the XOR operation. So the ones complement operation, okay, ones complement of 8, okay, is given as, okay, at the place all zeros are changed to ones and ones are changed to zeros. See, earlier what was the value? A's value was 8, right? So it was 1,000,000, and in front of 1 there were 24 zeros. So here you can find all of them have got, all those 24 ones have now become ones, and a 1 has now become, this 1 has now become a 0, and all other zeros that came after 1, these 3 zeros have now become ones. Okay, so this is a very simple example to demonstrate. What I can do is I can try to show you XOR, that is left shift and right shift operations I can perform. Okay, so I shall copy this line, paste it here. Okay, I can write A left shift 2. Okay, already A is 8. Left shift operation is nothing but multiplication, I told, correct? Multiplication with the powers of 2. So how many places I want to shift towards left? 2 places. So this is 8 into 2 square. That is 8 into 4, 32 I should get. Okay, let us see whether we get 32 or not. Okay, I write A less than 2. Okay, we shall try to run the program again. Whatever is the output, we will see. You see, I got, when I shifted A left side twice. Okay, so I got 32. Okay, 32 is the answer. If you wish to see the corresponding binary value, okay, what I can do is I can copy this line and paste it here and do a slight modification to this line to binary. A value I will print. So instead of printing this decimal value 32, it will show, okay, instead of this 32, it will now show binary equivalent of that 32. Okay, I can show you by running the program again. So you see here, you are now finding, it is still showing, okay, what I will do is, I will store this inside a variable. I call that as int p. Okay, is equal to, I am storing that okay value. So here I will print p, and here also I will write p. We'll see what happens now. Okay, you can now see you are getting only, I did not compile. Why I am not getting these lines means I did not compile. I simply, okay, I am trying to execute the program. Compiler knows only till here. So you are able to get only answers still there. So why I am not getting this is I am not trying to compile. After every change, you are supposed to compile your program. Okay. So after compiling, I need to run the program. I shall run it so that you see now, even now, it's quite some time that I have used my console. I usually, what I do is, I usually use Notepad and let me go to a Notepad, write the program. This is called as bin demo. Let me save this. Okay. By choosing, have you executed this way also, the traditional way, by using Notepad? Are you able to see? I have opened a Notepad.
Sir, Notepad ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Notepad ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ?
ನೀವು mostly NetBeans window ಮಾತ್ರ share ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ share ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. Okay, 1 second. I will show. One second, wait, Mari. Okay, I am going to share it again. Okay, I will share the entire screen. Now, are you able to view? Now, are you able to view
Yes, sir.
the notepad?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I am saving this. Not sure whether I had chosen the all files option or not. I'll give .java. I want to replace it. I need to now go to the command prompt. I have stored my program on the D drive. Okay, Java C. Bin demo is the name of the file. I am compiling this program. I should not get any errors. I didn't get any errors. I included these lines. Okay, these 3 lines. We were not getting output there. Okay, there was some issue, I guess. I do not want to waste my time doing the same. So I switched back to the standard way of executing a Java program, that is using Notepad and the command prompt. So I am now executing the program. You can now see here it is showing p value. Okay, p value it has displayed. P value is 32, correct? A left shift, this is 32. You can see now 1 followed by how many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3,
5.
4, 5. 5 zeros are there. That means, okay, so this is at the position 32. Okay, you are extending the 8421 code. You can also see the screen, right? I mean, the can you also see my?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We can see.
So what I do is I try to show. Okay. Here you have this 8421 code. So there was a 1 earlier. So this I am trying to move. Okay, 2 places. So this now becomes 32, correct? 1 2s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. I am trying to multiply that place with 2 again. I get 16. Multiplied by 2 is 32. So you are able to find 1 followed by 5 zeros. What does that mean? It means the value is nothing but 32. So I am now able to get a 32. Okay, in this particular manner when I did left shift operation. So now what I do is for this value 32, I will try to perform right shift operation, 2 places of right shift operation. So P is equal to 32. So right shift if I am doing, what does that mean? Right shift means P is equal to P divided by 2 to the power, whatever is the number of places, this 2 is fixed. This value depends on this, whatever is mentioned here. So 32 divided by 2 square, that is 4, is equal to, I should get 8. Okay, I will try to do the same now. I will try to perform a right shift operation now on this particular value. Okay. So on P, I try to I'll now try to perform a right shift operation. So this let me try to write inside a variable called as q. Int q is equal to p right shift 2. Okay, I try to write now. I try to write p right shift 2. So it gives me, it is stored inside q. So let me try to display the q value. I will replace this p by q. Okay, so let me save this file. Run the program again. Open the command prompt. Compile. Okay, I am now compiling the program. It got compiled. So I am trying to run the program again. You just see here, the last two statements is important for us. See, when I perform that right shift operation, what am I getting? I am getting a value 8. Even the binary equivalent of that, okay, is shown in the last two lines on the console. Okay, are you able to see these two highlighted lines?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a normal right shift operation. Now let us perform. Let us try to perform unsigned right shift. Okay, this is extra what you find only in Java. The right shift operation, unsigned right shift operation, is not present in, I will call this as R. I will call this as R. Okay, on the same p value, I am trying to perform okay, unsigned right shift. You can see 3 greater than symbols. I will call this as, in the next line, this is right shift. Okay, unsigned right shift. The answer is stored in R. I want to display the R value. See, it behaves the same. There is absolutely no difference between double greater than and double, triple greater than. Okay, there is absolutely no difference at all. Control S for positive numbers. That means whatever answer you get for these lines, the same answer you get for the last 3 lines also. That is a normal right shift and a unsigned right shift, both behave the same for positive numbers. Now the result is a positive result. Okay, so for positive numbers, okay, they both behave the same. There is absolutely no difference. However, for negative numbers, they behave differently. So let us now try to compile the program and cross check what is the effect of unsigned right shift on positive numbers. There is absolutely no effect. Whatever answer you are getting here, the last 2 lines, okay, the same output you shall be getting. Even now, we'll see it got compiled. I am trying to now run my program. You can now see that you see here, these 2 lines, if you observe, the highlighted lines on the screen, if you observe, okay, you find the same. What does this mean? This means that the normal right shift and the unsigned right shift behave the same for positive numbers. However, they behave differently for negative numbers. So if suppose this I am trying to perform unsigned right shift on P value is there na P, that P I will try to change that to P, I will change it to a negative number. I will try to change that to a negative number. P is equal to, I will write 1's complement of P. Or I will try to make it a negative number by multiplying that previous value with -1. Okay. So here I am not doing any change. Here it is a positive number only, whereas here I made that a negative number. P, I made a negative number. So on a negative number, if I am doing okay, if I am doing this right shift operation, I should be definitely getting this. Let me do this in front of normal right shift also, so that you will be able to see the difference. Okay, here I will not do this again. Let me save the program. See here, you observe what I did. That P, I made a negative number. Okay, actually it is a positive value. After this operation, what I get is a positive value. Intentionally, I am making it a negative, so that we can study the difference between normal right shift and unsigned right shift or zero filled right shift. Okay, so you can see that the how differently you shall be getting the outputs. Now you shall be able to see through this particular example. Okay, let me save this program, compile it again, because I made some changes. So I am now compiling the program. So I shall now run the program. You see here the answers what you are getting. See, P I got. Can you see here? Can you see here? What I got here is after a normal right shift, I got negative result. Can you see here? -8 I am getting. The two lines that I have highlighted, you see the extreme left bit, it is 1, correct? What does that indicate? It is called as the MSB or the sign bit. Sign bit is 1 for what type of values? Negative values. So -8 is the answer after I am performing this operation. Okay, what is the answer that I am getting? I am getting -8. So therefore you are able to see the sign bit is 1, the highlighted bit is 1, indicating that that means when I am performing a normal right shift operation, on a negative number, the answer that I get is also a negative number, correct? Is also a negative result. Whereas on the same negative number, what am I trying to use now? I am not trying to use normal right shift. Instead, I am using zero filled right shift or unsigned right shift. So what it does is, even this position is filled with a 0. You are not able to see a 0 here. Actually, if you count the number of bits, you count these number of bits with these bits, this one has lesser number of bits compared to the above line. You just observe and tell me. Some of the bits are missing, correct? In this line,
2 bits, sir.
What does that mean? There are zeros there. So that's why it is not showing zeros in front of the highlighted line. It is not showing zeros. What does that mean? That means even MSB has become a positive. MSB is a 0. So zeros are not shown in the result, correct? Leading zeros are not shown. So the answer what I am getting is a positive answer. You see here, the answer what I am getting is a positive number. So that is the difference between a normal right shift and a zero filled right shift or unsigned right shift. It behaves the same for positive numbers. Both behave the same for positive numbers. However, Okay, for negative numbers, they behave differently. For negative numbers, the normal right shift results also in negative result, while unsigned right shift results in positive result. Okay, this is what I wanted to highlight. This is regarding what is that called? Binary. What is this called? Bitwise operators. So we discussed all the three types of bitwise operators. We discussed here. We are discussing, okay, bitwise logical operators, bitwise AND denoted by single ampersand, bitwise OR denoted by the pipe, bitwise XOR denoted by the cap. Okay, then bitwise ones complement operator denoted by the tilde symbol. Okay, we saw this also. Then we are discussing about the left shift, right shift, and left shift, right shift, and zero field right shift. So all the three shift operators of that come under the category bitwise are also discussed. Okay, so this, the highlighted operator was not available in C or in C++. This was neither available in C nor in C++. However, in Java, you have this operator also. Okay, so this is regarding the new operator that is found only in Java and not in the predecessors. Namely, the predecessors of Java were C and C++. In neither of them, you could not find this particular operator. Okay, so this is regarding the operators. Now let me come to you have what is called as the loops. Okay, let me just show you a loop here. So you are all able to see completely, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to write on the board and waste my time discussing about the same loops and other things what you have already learnt in C. Okay, the same thing you will be learning here. I will be showing I discussed about all this in my last class. Okay. Okay, decision making and looping structures we shall discuss now. Okay, let me try to increase the. Okay, now you see here. See here, sometimes it is necessary for us to take the control. Usually how all programs are executed, the programs are executed in a sequential manner. That is, after executing the first line, second line is executed, and after executing the second line, third line is executed, and so on. Sometimes it is necessary for us to change this order. I do not want to execute immediately after first line. I do not want to execute second line. Instead, I want the control to jump to fourth line. Okay, based on a condition. Based on a condition, I want to take the control to some other statement present in the program. Or sometimes I want to repeat a few lines continuously as long as a condition is found true. In such situations, I need to make use of what are called as control structures. We have different types of control structures, such as first type of control structures are decision making control structures. Okay, wherein a particular condition will be tested, and based on whether the condition is true or not, the control is made to jump from one point of the program to some other point of the program, and such structures are called as decision making structures. We have simple if, okay, wherein it will check the condition that is provided. Only if the condition is true, the particular set of lines that are enclosed in that particular block are executed. Okay, if the condition is false, no action is taken. So this type of simple if you are using only when you have you know what to be done when the condition is true, and you do not know what has to be done when the condition is false. In such a case, you may use a simple if statement. If you know what should be done even when the condition is false, you want to do first set of actions you want to take when the condition is true, you want to perform a different set of actions when the condition is false, then you are supposed to use if else. That is, you are okay, you are prepared to attend the class if the class is conducted, and you have already planned what to be done if the classes are not conducted. You already know. So such statements you can place within the else block, and the statements that you want to do when the class is there, such statements you can enclose within the if block. So if you know what action should be taken when the condition is true and what action should be taken when the condition is false, if you know, then you can use if else blocks. Okay, then you have what is called as nested if else. That is, if suppose you have several if else blocks present enclosed inside one outer if else blocks, then that is called as nested if else blocks, and that process is referred to as nesting of if else structures. That is, sometimes it may be necessary to enclose a number of if else blocks within one particular pair of if else blocks. So that process is referred to as nesting, and such if else blocks are referred to as nested if else. Okay, we also have if else if ladder. We however do not write the word ladder while writing the program. Just for saying purpose, we say that it is if else if ladder. In this case, there will be one if block, there will be a number of else if blocks, and finally there will be the else block. That means we will have an if block at the beginning and an else block at the end. In between there will be a number of else if blocks, and this type of control structures is called as if else if ladder. Then we have three types of control structures, looping control structures. Namely, in order to repeat a particular set of tasks continuously based on whether the condition is, as long as the condition is true. Okay, here we will be doing the statements present within the if block are executed only once when the condition is true. But if suppose those lines have to be executed continuously as long as the condition is being found as true, then I need to make use of looping control structures. The three looping control structures that are supported in C, C++, and in Java are the for loop, the while loop, and the do while loop. Okay, we will see this particular line. Let me try to. I'm trying to. I will try to rotate this. Okay, so this is the if simple if. Here you are writing the condition. Only if the condition is true, the statements present in this block are executed. Okay, you do not know what to be done when the condition is false. So in that case, you are using simple if statement. Okay, so if else, when you are trying to use, there is one if block and there is an else block. Okay, you know what to be done when the specified condition is true, you will perform this action. When the condition is false, you will perform the statements that are written within the else block. Okay, when you know what to be done when the condition is true and what to be done when the condition is false, then it's better use if else. Okay, nested if else. You see here, see there is one if. Okay, this condition I am calling it as condition 1. Within this if, the end line also you can see. Can you all see whatever is being written? TB1.
Yes, sir.
So this entire thing is outer if. Inside this block, there is one pair of if else. Condition 2 either. See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 3 possibilities are there. Condition 1 true ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅವಾಗ control enters true block 1. Okay, the statements present here are executed. And next, condition 2 also is tested. Condition 2 also is true. That means condition 1 true ಇದೆ, condition 2 also is true. Avaga the statements present in the true block 2 are executed. Illiro statements true block 2 statements are executed if and only if the condition 1 that is found at the beginning, the condition 2 found here, only when both of them are true, true block 2 is executed. Adu possibility 1. Second possibility, condition 1 is true but condition 2 is false. Ee condition 2 false adaga true block 2 cannot be executed. So false block 2 is executed. Okay, only this particular block is executed. Condition 2 false adaga FB2 else illidiyala else these statements are executed. Okay, when condition 1 is true but condition 2 is false iddaga, that is the second possibility. Third possibility, condition 1 itself is false. When condition 1 itself is false, okay, this entire thing is not executed at all. Directly control jumps from here to this particular else block and this else block is executed. Yavaga possibility 3, only when condition 1 itself is true, is false, this particular block is executed. Okay, so this is nested if else. Then we have what is called as if else if ladder. As I told, we will have an if block at the beginning, okay, and a number of else if blocks kanista idya, and we will have an else block at the end. Okay, so if at the beginning irutte, nested if else alli you will find one if else if ladder alli you will find one if at the beginning and one else at the end. Okay, there is an else at the end. See, you find an else at the end, an if at the beginning. In between there are a number of else if blocks. So ee tara blocks kaanistaga, then this is called as if else if ladder. So how is this executed? First, condition 1 is tested. Okay, if condition 1 is true, the true block 1 statements are executed. Illi TB1 anta bartidinalla, that is executed when condition 1 is true. Condition 2 is tested. Yavaga when condition 1 is false, condition 2 is tested. If it is true, true block 2 statements are executed. True block 2 alliro statements execute agutte. If condition 2 also is false, then next condition will be tested. If this is true, that block of that true block is executed. If all the conditions that are mentioned here are false, only when all of them are false, then only the else block of statements, okay, are executed. So illiro else block yavaga execute agutte, only if all conditions mentioned are false. So idr badlagi I can also use one more type of control structure, that is switch use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಈ condition 1 ಅಂತ ಇರೋದು true block 1 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, so these statements I can write inside case 1. These statements I can write TB2 ಅಂತ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, so these statements I can write inside case 2. This I can write in case n, and ಈ else block ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, this I can write in the default case. So default case alli I can write the statements present in the else block. So it all depends on what control structure we use. So whatever programs that you have written using switch case, you can replace them by the use of if else if ladder use madkondo. Also you can write the same programs, you can get the results. Okay, looping alli while and do while. First while do while ಹೇಳಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ for loop ಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. Any loop should have 3 lines. 3 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಒಂದು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್, ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಲೂಪ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ದೀಸ್ 3 ಆರ್ ದ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನಿ ಲೂಪ್. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು? ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಸಿ here I have given one example. I is equal to 1 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್. where that is written somewhere before the loop. ಲೂಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಈ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ ವೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸಿ ಲೂಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ, ಲೂಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗಿರೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಈ ಲೂಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ I have written I is equal to 1. So initialization statement is written before the loop. Condition na ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? Condition is being tested at the beginning of the loop. Loop beginning ಅಲ್ಲಿ condition ನ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ I++ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, I- ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ? ವಿತಿನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್. ವಿತಿನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ. ಸೊ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್, ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ವಿತಿನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವೈಲ್ ಲೂಪ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವೆನ್ ದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ, if the condition is found false at the beginning, first time I value, say for example 100 ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, n is 5 ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 100 is 100 less than 5? No. So ಅವಾಗ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆದಾಗ the statements within the loop are not executed at all. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಓಕೆ ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. The entire loop is skipped when I am using the while loop. ಯಾವಾಗ? That is when the condition is found at the at the beginning itself it is found to be false, then the entire loop is skipped. So adartha, the statements present within the loop may not be executed. Within the loop system.out.println I++ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, these statements may not get executed at all when the condition is found to be false at the beginning. Okay, now let us look at the do while. ಯಾವುದೇ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಮೂರು ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಬೇಕು, ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಬೇಕು. ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಇನ್ ವೈಲ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಲೂಪೇ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ I is equal to 1 ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಲೂಪೇ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಜಾಗ ಸೇಮ್. ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ was written within the body. Here also update is written within the body. So in both cases, whether in while or in do while, initialization jaga matte update statement jaga same. Only jaga yaudradappa ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ದಷ್ಟೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇದೆ. Okay, in case of while, condition is tested at the beginning, and in case of do while, condition is tested at the end. So beginning ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್, the statements within the loop may not be executed even once. It is like this. Say for example, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಬಾಗ್ಲು ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾರೋ somebody knocks at the door. I will ask who is knocking at the door. ಅವನು ನಾನು say he will tell he belongs to civil branch, civil department. So will I allow him to enter the class? No, because the class that I am handling is for the CS students. So I will not allow him to enter my class at all. So when the condition is found to be false, ಅವನು ಒಳಗೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಪಾಠ ಕೇಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ ಡೂ ವೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಗ್ಲು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Let us assume I have opened the door. Okay, and I am handling the class. I have opened the door and I am handling the class. In case of do while, door open ide, so he can enter the room, he can sit along with you. Okay, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬಂದು he may ask one of you, okay, ಇದು ಯಾವ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. When you tell him that it is some computer science subject, what he will do? He will leave the room. So when he is testing the condition, he is testing the condition at the end. But because he is testing the condition at the end, he has got a chance to enter my room, listen to me for once, and then finally he can quit. So the statements present within the loop may be executed at least once. You can assure, you can guarantee the execution of the statements within the body of the do while loop to get executed at least once. This guarantee I cannot give when I am closing the doors and taking the class. Okay, I will ask him at the beginning only whether he belongs to my department or not. If so, he is allowed to enter. Otherwise, he is not allowed to enter. So he may not get a chance to listen to my class even once. So therefore, we say while is an entry controlled loop. Andre beginning alle condition na check madodrinda it's called entry controlled loop, while do while is considered as an exit controlled loop because condition is tested at the end. Okay, it is called as exit controlled loop. Okay, so for loop alli you just see all the three statements are written. You see the example that is given here. When you see the example, you will see that okay, all the three lines, initialization, condition, update, but the way it is executed is similar to while loop. While loop alli henge execute agutte? Okay, first while munche yenide initialization ide. So initialization first execute agbidutte first time, only once initialization is executed. Then the condition is tested. If the condition is true, control enters the loop. Then it will do the update. Then again control comes back to the condition. If it is true, again these statements are executed. Again update admele, again the condition is tested. This process is repeated as long as the condition is found true. The moment it becomes false, okay, it comes out of the loop. Correct? Ade tarane, even in case of while, nodi, I is initialized with one first time, only once, first time adu execute agutte onde time. Then this condition is tested. Condition, if it is true, the statements in the loop are executed. Idu execute agutte. Then control comes to this update statement. Update statement admele control again comes back to the condition. Matte condition test madutte. If it is true, again this statement is executed. And later on, I is incremented. Condition is tested. So this process keeps on happening. The way this loop is executed is very much similar to the way while loop is executed. Okay, the only difference between while and do while is, see, in case of while, now where were we writing the condition? In case of while, we were writing the initialization in one line, condition in one line, and update in another line. Okay, adre for loop alli all the three, initialization, condition, and the update, all the three are written in a single line. So this is what you must know with respect to loops. So loops agoitu. So conditional control structures aitu, loops aitu. Next what you have is this one. Let me just okay, you must know, you have a special concept in Java called as labeled break and labeled continue. Before you understand labeled break and labeled continue statements of Java, you must know what is called as break and continue statements. Okay, idu nimge C++ alli ella kade idu, Java alli kuda ide. Yenagutte nodi, say there is a for loop. Okay, there is a break statement. Adu breaks anta kaanista ide, breaks alla break. Okay, it is a break statement that is present here. Break admele kelu statements ide. Yenagutte, when the break statement is executed, whatever statements that come after the break admele yav statements barutto avella yenagutte skip agutte. Skip agbittu control loop inda aachege bandbidutte. So break causes an exit from the place where it is present. Break ಯಾವ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇಂದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲೂಪ್, ಅದು ಬ್ರೇಕ್. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ದೇ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ಡ್. Likewise, the statements that come after the continue are also skipped. Okay, continue ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅನ್ಲೈಕ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ವೇರ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಆಚೆಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಲ್ಲ. ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಆ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೆನ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್. ಅದೇ ತರ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀಬಾರ್ದು ನೀವು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆದ್ಮೇಲಾಗ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೆದ್ರು ಅವು ಯೂಸ್ಲೆಸ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. You are not supposed to write any statements after break or after continue, because in either case those statements are skipped. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಓಕೆ ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅದೇ I++, I-, ಈ ತರ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ದಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಎ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. ಈಗ let us now take the example of labeled break. Labeled break ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೂಪ್, ಓಕೆ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್, ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಟಾಪ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಹೆಸರು ಲೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ NIR ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮೈ ನೇಮ್ NIR : ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ NIR ಅನ್ನೋ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. ಬರೀ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಚೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಚೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಈ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇಂದ ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು, ಓಕೆ, ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು? ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಫ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಆ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದಾನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತಿರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ NIR ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದು NIR ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್, but it will also come out of the loop which has the label NIR. ಯಾವ ಲೂಪ್ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ NIR ಅನ್ನೋ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದಾನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಜಂಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ಎ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಬರ್ದಾಗ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರ್ದು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್? ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್. If I want the control to come out of all the loops from wherever it is written, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಲೂಪ್ಸ್ ಇಂದನೂ ಆಚೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋ ಲೂಪ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಲೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಲನ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಬರ್ದಾಗ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಮಿಕೋಲನ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ ಕೋಲನ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ನಿರ್ ಸೆಮಿಕೋಲನ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಬರೀ ಈ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂದ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, it will also try to come out of this outer for loop. So control ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎರಡೂ ಲೂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಆಚೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್. ನಾವು ಕಮ್ ಟು ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಬರೋಣ. ಸೊ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಇದು ನಾರ್ಮಲ್, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಲೂಪ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೂಪ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಲೇಬಲ್ ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ದ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು? ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಬರೀ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇನ್ನರ್ ಲೂಪ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಐ ಡು ನಾಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ to come to the update statement of the inner loop. Instead, I want the control to come to the update statement of the outer loop. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅದೇ ತರಾನೇ ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನಿರ್ ಕೋಲನ್ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಬರೆಯೋ ಬದಲು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಬರ್ದು ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ನೇಮ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಅದೇ ಲೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಆ ನೇಮೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದು ದೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಸೆಮಿಕೋಲನ್. ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಲೂಪ್ದು ಓಕೆ ಯಾವ ಲೂಪ್ಗೆ ಆ ಲೇಬಲ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಲೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಟು ದ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಔಟರ್ ಲೂಪ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಲೇಬಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ನಾವು ಲೂಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬ್ರೇಕು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್. ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಲ್ಟಿವೇ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಇಫ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಡರ್ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ 1 ಅಂತಿರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ 1 ಅಂತಿರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಏನು ಕೇಸ್ 1 ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಕೇಸ್ 1. ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ 2 ಅಂತಿರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ 2 ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋ ಆನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಕೇಸಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? So that is all about the control structures. Now next is, are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಪಾಪ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋಣ ಪಾಪ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮು. ನೀವು ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಾ? ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರು ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋವೇ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾವತ್ತಾದ್ರೂ ಅವ್ರು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ದು? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಎವರ್ ಟ್ರೈಡ್ ಎನಿ ಬಿಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಆಪರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್? ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಶ್ರೀಧರ್?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಹಂಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು, ಆಟಗಳು ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಅಂತವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ ಕತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್. ಹಾಳಾಗೋಗ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನ್ಗೇನಾಗ್ಬೇಕು? ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಸೊ ಆತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇ ಯು ಆರ್ ದ people who lose. Okay, so ega let me tell you about classes. I already have told you that class is a collection of similar type of objects that share common fields and methods. Okay, objects that share common fields and methods are called as I mean a group of such objects is called a class ಅಂತ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಬರಿತೀವಿ, ದೆನ್ ವಿ ರೈಟ್ ಎ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎರಡು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿ ಆರ್ ದ ಟೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಜಿನೇಂದ್ರ. ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಜಿನೇಂದ್ರ, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? Jinendra?
No, sir.
Okay. Having no problem is a big problem for some of you. Alva? Okay. Bidi. So I have this example shows you how I can define a class. A class will typically have the keyword class at the beginning, then it can have any suitable name. While using the name, what are the rules to be followed while naming a variable? Nanu variable na name madavaga what rules should I follow? Okay, ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಈಗ ಈ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ ಎ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 8 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್? ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್ ವಿತ್ ಎ ಡಿಜಿಟ್? ನೋಡಿ 3a ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. 3a ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 8 ಅಂತ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಯು ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸಿ ನೋ ನೋಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಡ್? ಎಗೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ತರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಅನ್ ಎರರ್. ಈಗ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನ, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಶೋ ಅನ್ ಎರರ್. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಈಗ ಎರರ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಓಕೆ 3 it cannot have a digit at the beginning of a variable. A digit can come, okay, not as the first letter. First letter ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಇರಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಎಂಡಲ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಂಟ್ A3 is equal to 8 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದು ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ನಾನು ಎ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಬಟ್ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ನನ್ಗೆ. ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಎ ಅಂತ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಎ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ, A3 ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಎರರ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಡಿಜಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಎ ನೇಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್, ಬಟ್ pre-A is not okay. Then ಅದೊಂದು ರೂಲ್. Then what is the next rule? There cannot be any special characters. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ನಾನು ಎ ಬರ್ದು ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ any special character is not allowed. The one and the only special character that is allowed is ಯಾವುದು? Underscore. Okay, ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕಂಪೈಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Again I am getting error here. So special symbol are not allowed. The one and the only special symbol that is allowed is the underscore. Underscore I can use anywhere, either at the end use ಮಾಡಬಹುದು or at the beginning ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ